Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashanah Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And this is Nancy Morgan Hart of Headline News, or Headlines with a Voice, Narrated News. And I'm going to narrate her narration, because you have to understand that the nation of Edom respects no one else's humanity except their own. And now they're being victims of their own folly, of their own devices. That's what's happening. They're becoming victims of their own devices. All right. So let me grab a quick scripture to open with, and then I'll let her speak, and I'm going to stop her every now and then. You know, whatever spirit, whatever the spirit gives me, I will add unto it. I could have, gone through it. I've listened to this, yesterday when it came out, and saved it to watch later so that I could do a response to it. And I could have just easily just listened to it and then strategically wrote down scriptures, but I didn't want. I decided I just wanted to do this raw. So, Salakia. This is Daniel 8:25, and it reads, "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand." So all this peace and Maxine Waters, or the vaccination, maxination, it's going to lead to war, both within and without. That's where it's headed. All right. As I speak to you, for the last hour, I've been listening to the FDA panel of doctors, a video that Sayad just sent me this morning. And they're live right now. And they're discussing whether to make this thing, okay for mass distribution to the people. But about maybe like 45 minutes into it, I heard one of the first doctors who spoke talk about the nanoparticles that are in this vaccination. All right, in this vaccine. All right. And we know that nanotechnology is the precursor to the microchip. So with that in mind,
as more than half the country sleepwalks into the clutches of Marxism and tyranny, they failed to heed the wisdom of those that experienced the cruelty, the oppression, and the degradation after a similar revolution in the last century.
And see everything she just spoke about, the children of Jacob, the true Israelites, the true seed of Israel, has been experiencing that here in America all along.
Mega corporations with powerful lobbying departments and unlimited financial resources have reaped tremendous profits, and they've seen their stock prices soar to all-time highs.
And see, there you go. It just goes to show you that the mega corporations control policy. People that were never even voted into place are making decisions, overriding the system that you set in place, which has never worked for the Israelites in the first place. It never has. All right. This is Jeremiah, Deuteronomy 30:7. All right. And it reads, "And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and upon them that hate thee, which persecute thee." And right now you're having a Psalms 83 council of heathens with a couple of Eunice Rivers, the spirit of Eunice Rivers, I believe that was the woman's name, that was involved in the Tuskegee experiment. And that Tiberius Julius Tiberius Alexander spirit, all right, which was the Jake general that led the attack against Jerusalem for Esau Edom, all right, against his own people, all right. And even though Tiberius got the Flavian dynasty in a nutshell, got the credit for it, but that was done by an Israelite, and it was sure there were plenty of Israelites serving in the Roman army under him as well, just like they're in the army of Rome, Babylon, Egypt today.
While hundreds of thousands of small restaurants and retailers have closed for good, somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of all small businesses in the United States have closed or will close permanently. Our wealthy elite overlords work remotely from their multi-million-dollar mansions. They send their kids to expensive private schools. They dine on white truffles and caviar at the French Laundry for $1,200. It's us and them.
So basically, what has happened is that all the money that was going to the mom and pop shops and the private shops that basically employed the majority of Americans, because the majority of Americans work in the small business sector, right? That's the majority. And as all these small business owners have been shut down, all that money has funneled to the large corporations that have their hand in government. Because see, they pay off the lobbyists and they pay off the people and at the top, and they're able to inflate. What's his name? Mayor Amschel Meyer, Meyer Amschel Rothschild, whatever his damn name was. He made the statement that if give me the control over a nation's currency, and I care not who makes his rules. There's another old saying: he who has the gold makes the rules. All right. And believe me, they have the gold and they make the rules, not your government. Your government has been hijacked by major corporations that have put media in place, that have control over the internet, have algorithms set up. When you say certain words, they will demonetize, shut you down, and they make sure that their message and only their message is pushed on the mainstream 24/7 non-stop. All right, which is why we're going to need divine intervention. All right, to eventually to overcome these people, and they have the nerve to refer to themselves as overlords, because in their minds they're over the Lord.
Millions of formerly middle class and poor are lining up at food banks because authoritarian governors like Newsom, Cuomo, Whitmer, Murphy, and Wolf have shut down small businesses without any science to back up their dictatorial actions.
That's true. They don't. They never produce the science that proves why eating in a small restaurant or going to a Walmart and eating in their they have the little restaurants up front, the little fast food restaurants inside the Walmart. Why that's safer than eating in Pedro's Tacos, eating in a local or the local restaurant in your neighborhood. Why is it that people can gather in a Walmart, and will gather in a Target, gather in a Walgreens, all right, and be way past the occupancy that's considered safe, picking up and touching the same goods, but they can't do that in the local store. See, there's no science to back that up or to control that. All right, taking away people's means to live, but that's what they did to Jake with redlining, with the FAA housing thing, with the land grabs, with the banking system. Systematic racism against Jacob had him oppressed and had him broke, had him on the bottom, and had him in food lines all along. And now it's beginning to happen to Esau. Call Halal Yahweh Shai.
But they're allowing Walmart, Costco, Lowe's, and other favored companies to remain open. You see, if you drive 50% of small businesses into insolvency, all those sales and profits must gravitate to the connected megacorporations, and we've seen that. The corporations then pay off politicians to enforce regulations and mandates to keep the profits flowing. and small businesses from competing. America, as we know it, will cease to exist, and those that aren't connected to the oligarchs will sink into impoverishment and slavehood status.
That's right. And America, as you know, it has already ceased to exist. What's next now is complete utter chaos. And after that comes the war in heaven. And the eventual enslavement of Esau Edom. All right, which we're going to get some scriptures on that. Because it's time for the heathen, all the heathen, to pay for what they've done. All right. As a matter of fact, let's not even wait. Let's grab one real quick. Why it popped in my head. This is Psalms 2 and 8. And it reads, Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. All right. This is Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? They're raging because they think they're going to set up their digital currency and give everyone the microchip. And like I said, the guy just admitted that the Maxine Waters has the nanotechnology in it. Then you got false prophets like General Gehenna, all right, and with the black man this and the white man that doctrine. Sounds no different from Farrakhan. Not, using the name Christ and God, just like IUIC. They're saying that it's okay to take this thing. Judas goats, man, leading you to the slaughter. But you know what? They're only leading the 2/3 to the slaughter. I can't even get mad at them because none of the elect are not going to fall for that. And the water Yahweh Shem was shy. You kind of get mad, but then you have to remember, man, that has to happen. And then the men of the great millstone that are teaching the right thing, that just ups our chances. So let them do that. Don't be mad at them, brothers. Rejoice. Rejoice, because somebody has to play that role and be thankful that it's not you. So this is Psalms 2 and 1 again. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. And they're doing that now again. The same way they did it in Psalms 83. They're doing it again. All right. And Maxine Waters is the way to do it. Because this is a precursor to the chip. The Maxine Waters prepares your body for the chip so that the chip will work so that they can go completely digital. And the Lord is going to destroy them as soon as they begin to fill their belly. All right?
The oligarchs will reap the riches while they retain control through an iron fist and sophisticated technological surveillance. The miraculous injection will become mandatory.
Right, and that injection is also how they're going to survey you, because now you'll have nanotechnology in you, which now the cameras can pick you up wherever you are. They will have unrestricted access into your personal life and into your personal finances. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're thinking, whatever your health is, they will know. They'll even know when your heart rate goes up and down. They'll even know when you're taking a dump. They'll know if you're having sex and what kind of sex you're having. So all you people that's for this thing, that is what you give. You're giving up all your personal space and your personal freedoms and your personal privacy. That's what you're doing. These people want to become godlike,
To work, to travel, to shop. And Big Pharma is already reaping billions in profits while being shielded from liability when it goes wrong.
Yeah, people have died.
By acquiescing to the demands of these totalitarians, we are sentencing future generations to a digital gulag with the threats of a real gulag for dissenters. Our world is descending into darkness. A world where you'll own nothing, but you'll be happy, according to Schwab's Great Reset. For decades, they've been slowly chipping away at the...
Look into that book, Schwab's Great Klaus Schwab's. the Great Reset is literally happening right before your face. That's what she just mentioned.
Foundations of our society. Chipping away at family, faith, personal responsibility, honesty, hard work, community standards, goodwill toward your fellow man, the freedom to make your own choices, and adherence to agreed upon societal rules. Now, they're ready for the final destruction of our foundational values. You'll eat bugs. You'll eat fake meat to preserve the planet.
You see that? You'll eat bugs and fake meat. They showed you that in Snowpiercer. All right? On that train, the original movie, the people up front, they were actually eating food. Some of probably half of it was abominable, but they did have food and they had vegetables and they were growing them, growing them in greenhouses on the train, and they had stockpiles of chickens and eggs and a few cows and things like that. But the people in the back, they were eating blocks of protein with sugar and with sugar in them. All right. Well, what do you call it? Not sugar, but what do they call this stuff? Fructose. So what they did was they took roaches and bugs and bottom feeders, all right, and they mixed them all together and they came out in blocks of protein. Right. Exactly. That's where you're headed. And the only people that actually be eating food. So you think that the Lord is with that? You think the Lord is with these people that he meant for his earth to be that way? Then you got dumbasses that keep coming on the comment board talking about Japhet. Japhet wasn't prophesied to do this to the world, nor to oppress and suppress the children of Israel, nor to be ruling in the end of days. That was prophesied to be Edom. So Edom is not done away with. They're responsible for all of this.
You'll be denied fossil fuels to preserve the planet, and you'll be provided just enough digital currency to survive. You'll perform menial jobs.
You see that? You'll be provided digital currency, which means a chip will have to come. This one little thing, because it's only 6 minutes 45 seconds long. But this is probably her greatest work in everything that she's done, and she's done some pretty good stuff. But she let it all out right here.
Be thankful to your overlords. You will dutifully take your injection boosters without question, or face the gulag. You'll gladly agree to being chipped and electronically monitored. You'll only consume government messaging, and you won't be allowed to contemplate contrary views. And you
won't even be able to contemplate them. Because why? They'll just turn off your chip and you won't be able to survive because you'll be an outcast, because you won't be able to shop, enter a store, enter a building, go to work. And that's what taking this vaccination leads you to. And it also takes you out, and more importantly, it takes you out of the graces of the Most High. Because all these things that they're trying to set up, it's never going to happen. They're never going to have their super cities in the sky. Because that's what they want. They want these gigantic high-rise cities with 200-story high high-rise buildings with walled cities that are 50 to 100 feet high, all right, where everyone lives up on the top floors, and the bottom floors are their work, and they're working for the super rich and the elite, and they want you in walking distance or bicycle distance of your work. They want to take away your ability to drive and move around too. That is what and feed you bugs. That is where this world is headed without the intervention of the Lord. This is their plans.
No longer be able to hide behind the safety of the Constitution. A new order will supplant that outdated scrap of parchment. They want billions of obedient automatons with the same face, the same thoughts, adhering to their mandates and their proclamations. And once these Marxists seize complete power, they'll never relinquish it. This battle is for all the marbles, and if we lose, we'll be subjugated and we'll be punished. It's time to fight, not time to heal. The enemy and their tactics have been laid bare for anybody that chooses to acknowledge reality.
And you know what? This is Nancy Morgan Hart speaking, and I claim her in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And she's going to be used as an agent against her own people. All right? That is going to be her purpose. All right? She's going to be hated. All right? Because she's gonna be that agent that's always ratting out and exposing and shaming her men, because the scriptures clearly say that. Revelation, matter of fact, let me just get it. This is Revelation 18:6. And it reads, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, and a cup which she hath filled to her double. So they're still using our women, especially the Judite woman, against us as a weapon. There are Judite women all involved in this machination process that are leading our people to the destruction. You know, from the executive level all the way down to the ghetto gagger level. All right, they're against us. So the same thing is going to be done to Esau Edom. He is not going to like it. Which I don't care.
And realize that a battle for the soul of our civilization is underway. Being trapped in a normalcy bias bubble is not a viable strategy. The initial financial crisis is now entering the violent upheaval stage, where the future of our country hangs in the balance, and hoping for the cavalry to arrive in the nick of time to save the day, that's naive and dangerous wishful thinking.
The cavalry is against you.
The future will be determined by individual acts of bravery and courage. Set an example for others by courageously speaking the truth, and stand up to those intent on enslaving us through their lies. If you think that we have time to fight at a future date, you're badly mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
The time has arrived. Heal or fight.
So basically, she just called Americans, patriots, servicemen, militia, which are all involved in the military and the police, by the way. She's called them all to arms. She said it is now time. And it is time, because that's what's about to happen. Right? With this election process not being over, and with this vaccination getting ready to be forced on the people, and with all these people that are about to become homeless in a couple of weeks in the middle of winter, and I heard that there's 10 feet of snow expected to hit the East Coast in the next couple of days or so. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 15, and it reads, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up against another with swords in their hands. But there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're getting ready to fight one another, blood and chaos in the streets of Babylon. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharallah.